Jay, as we were leaving, it looked like Morgan was getting his hand looked at. Was there anything there? And then is there any other injury news to report?
No, he just hurt his thumb a little bit. He'll be okay.
You and several other coaches are playing their starters in the preseason less than has been traditionally done. Is this, do fans and media, do we tend to overestimate how important getting, maybe a game's worth of preseason snaps is to getting a team ready to play?
Yeah, I think maybe. I think there's, you can make an argument either way, really. Talk radio, I can call and argue one side or argue the other. It's just a matter of what I feel best is for this football team. And I feel like the most important thing for us right now is getting Arizona healthy. And every time you take a snap in a pro football game, there's certain risks involved. And I feel like the starters, especially on the offensive line, I know who the starters are. And they're getting a lot of work out here at practice. We're evaluating them every day. We're getting a lot of good work in. And, for me to get Morgan and Trent and Brandon and Chase and Sean Laval to the regular season is very, very important. And, of course, the quarterback. So you can make arguments either way, but, teams are doing it different. Some teams aren't even playing their starters at all. So different strokes for different folks.
How much does last year factor into how much playing time they got this year? Just all the injuries you went through, did that shape your philosophy this summer?
How much does what?
All the injuries you guys went through last year.
Yeah, that has a little bit to do with it. You might be a little paranoid. But, we have got some quality work. We also had the Jets come in for practice also, so we got 3 pretty good days there also of evaluation. So we feel like we're on pace or on track to get our team ready for Arizona.
That offensively, the first time you guys will really be full together would be in the opener with all the change you've had. Is that any level of concern for you?
It is a little bit, just seeing what kind of shape they're in. Some of the guys like Jordan and Jamison, they missed quite a bit of time. Chris has been getting a lot of work running and all that. I don't feel too worried about him. But, you're talking about your key weapons not getting a lot of playing time, and that's a little bit concerning. But since it is Jordan and Jamison, they're both very quarterback friendly. I think Alex will adapt fine. Well, I wanted to see him run behind our offensive line. I wanted to see him get some quality looks. And my goal was to get him 10 or 11 carries. I think he got 11, maybe. Try to get him some back-to-back runs, see how he looked after the 5th carry, after the 6th carry on the same drive. And, I thought he looked good. So, we're still in the evaluation process. But, I was very, very it was very good to see him run the way he did.
Where does Rob just kind of stand right now?
Who?
Rob Kelly. Just where does he kind of stand?
Where does he stand?
Yeah,
he's one of the running backs in our room. We're still evaluating that group every day, and Samaje got some work in today a little bit, and Capri's done a nice job. Byron's been hurt a little bit, but we'll get a good look at all these guys.
At what point in the week last week did you determine that starting Adrian was the right move?
At what point? Probably after his workout.
And at what point this week will you decide if he plays and anybody else who might be in consideration for a starting spot that might still need to play this week? At what point will you make those determinations?
I'm going to take these next few days. What is today? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're going to go us against us and get a lot of good work. And I'm not even going to put on any Baltimore Raven film, really. And then Wednesday we might do some walkthrough stuff, try to just alert them for what Baltimore might do. But really it's about evaluating our people right now, not so much getting ready for another team. But I need to see our guys. It's right around the corner now. So we have to try to get as many good looks as we can for these guys so our decisions are accurate.
Yeah, I had bad eyes today. Were Danny Johnson and Josh Norman out there?
Danny has a little bit of a groin. He'll be okay. And Josh was a little bit of he's got something, a little tweak. He'll be okay, though.
And then just what did you make of the starting defense after watching it on film?
Yeah, it was, not our best performance, without a doubt. We had a couple mental mistakes there, and I think the tackling was poor. There's some other things that we addressed already in our meeting room, so we'll get those corrected. Sometimes it takes a little swift kick in the rear end to get going and wake people up and let them realize that, hey, we gotta work harder than our opponent. And that wasn't quite the case on Thursday night or Friday night whenever we played. So we'll get it corrected. I have faith that the guys in the room are strong-willed individuals, and we'll do better.
Jay, following up on the on Peterson, I mean, you could see some things on the field perhaps that day. When you watched the film, did more stuff jump out at you about him?
A little bit. I think what you saw in the field is what you get. He's a big physical runner and ran well in traffic too, which I was impressed with. And of course, the ball security is a big thing for us. And he did a nice job of holding on to the ball. So showed good vision, good patience, and then showed acceleration and burst. So those are traits you have to have, and then ball security, without a doubt, is a must. Now we just got to look at them in some other forms. Maybe some play actions and get them out in the backfield just a little bit, just to try to branch off, get them some more areas that running backs have to do.
With the fourth preseason game coming up and cuts approaching, are there any position battles that you're keeping an extra close eye on in these next couple days?
I think all of them, really. I think inside backer's really interesting, outside backer's interesting. Our 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th linemen, however many we keep, is coming down to the wire, and obviously running back. So corners, safeties, they're all pretty fun to watch. I like to keep an open mind, and then we'll have lengthy discussions about it with everybody involved and get the opinions out there and then make a decision.
One of those battles, wide receiver, you haven't had Cam Sims available for practice. He didn't play the game, didn't see him out there today. Does that make it really, really difficult to evaluate whether he should be one of the 53 or not?
Yeah, it's tough. Quick same way. Quick started out really strong in camp, and then he had that thigh, and then Cam had that big game and then hurt his thigh. So unfortunately, neither one of them have been able to participate. So that makes it very tough, like you say, especially for a young kid like Cam who's coming on, and you see the progress, but then it gets stopped. And we just got to hope he gets ready soon so we can get a look at it before.
Does that maybe favor Quick a little bit because he has a body of work that you can look at as opposed to Sims, who just has?
I don't know. I think
I
I like them both. There's a lot to like about both those guys, and we could possibly keep them both. So we'll wait and see. Hopefully one of them gets better, or both of them get better, so we can make the right decision.
With Colt's hand, is that something that would probably keep him out of Thursday?
Yes, probably. Yes.
And then
possibly.
You guys signed Connor Jessup. Is he likely to play on Thursday, or is it mostly
he can
just
play a little bit on Thursday, at least back up Hogan, in case something happens to Hogan, because I don't want to bring in, if Colt can't go, I don't want to bring in Alex, obviously if something happens to Hogan, so we got to have backup.
Speaking of Hogan, how did he look when you went back at the tape, and what kind of goes into that decision on whether you guys would actually keep a third quarterback?
Yeah, that numbers. Really, Hogan did a great job, especially when you're standing on a sideline watching Colt get annihilated play after play after play, and if I'm a third quarterback, I'm like, I ain't going in there. But Hogan jumped in there and stepped up in there, made some key throws, led 2 touchdown drives, a 2-minute drive. So I was impressed with Hogan. He moved around and, stood there in face of some good pass rush.
What else? Thank you, Coach.
Yep.